Alecat, and I'm here with Grace and Pitchy, and we're going to bring you West of Loathing. It's going to be the DLC.
Yeah, that's the thing we're doing.
Yeah.
That's
Hi.
right.
I'm Grace.
And I'm Pitchy.
Excellent.
Still.
So this is mostly a text-based game. So actually we're going to go through all of the text. If you do not want spoilers to the puzzles, go away. You know, buy this game. It's probably $11 on.
It's
It's 11 American bucks because 11 is a funny number in this universe. And the DLC is I think like another six-ish American.
This game has a very particular sense of humor.
That's
and
right.
we will attempt to maybe impart some of it.
Yeah, we're gonna speed through it. So we'll be trying to explain the jokes. I have padded my estimate a little bit because I'm assuming that my talk speed is not going to be as fast as my play speed. So hopefully we'll
That's why
explain.
I'm
Plenty of
here.
booze to go through.
Yeah. Oh, and we have. Oh, yes. Thank you everyone for donating towards the incentive. I actually can't promise that it'll be very exciting, but we are going to have the loathing equivalent of jump scares come up through the run. If you can call them jump scares.
I didn't sign up for this.
All right.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to start the game, but time will start when I pick my character class, so I'll count down to that.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, so we're going to start the run as a Beanslinger, which is the magical class. As you can see, there are some definite choices for your character classes here.
Yeah, so we pick Beanslinger because we need its lower experience cost on mysticality levels, but also because it gives us beans, which we need later, so it saves us having to go out of our way to get those.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're a Beanslinger, you can just summon beans, so it's great.
Yeah.
Alright, I will start time, and then hopefully we're going to just natter about what this game is and totally run over any time that Pitchy would have had to make announcements. So,
Aw.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, and the first thing I was meant to do was try and skip this animation, but I failed, so whoops.
Don't worry about it.
Time for donations then.
No, that wasn't.
It's like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like, 2 seconds that we'll never get back. We're going to skip the prologue and we're going to take the Dark Horse. It's only, somewhat relevant, but it does allow us to skip a potential encounter.
Yeah, it's like, wow, encounters? Yeah,
And we take Doc Alice because she's good for AoE. We'll just have a few combats. And we take Ruthless because that's also going to be relevant. Here is the cutscene. It's 20 seconds, I think.
That's it. Alright, so, yeah, at this point, since we skipped the prologue, we also we have to set up a file so that we have a certain amount of experience. I think it's like 60 or so. So, when we get to Gun Manor, we're going to have to talk to Florence the Ghost Hunter. Florence has been commissioned to clear out all the ghosts.
She's a ghostbuster.
Yeah, shockingly. There's 11 ghosts. I wouldn't be surprised. It's the number 11. I don't remember.
No, there are actually more than 11 ghosts. We will
that's
find
unfortunate.
out.
That is unfortunate.
It's another...
Anyway.
I'm totally going to flub the inventory buttons.
It's fine. But yeah, Flo is also severely arachnophobic, and that becomes a problem.
So yeah, we're going to start by totally exterminating this spider, which you'll notice I'm not actually doing. Yep. Because instead I'm going to surrender twice. By surrendering, we get angry because we lost the fight, and by getting angry, we boost all of our stats.
Yeah, and that is... So, basically first thing about this run is we're doing best ending, which means we have to make the ghosts move on without just killing them.
You all have to remind...
Don't ask questions. They're ghosts. I know they're already
ghosts.
dead.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I have to get all the boos because we unlocked that, and the first boo is coming up. Look, it's a can of paint. I wonder what happens if I paint something else. Oh God! Ah! We didn't totally spoil that by saying it was going to be a boo, did we?
Not
at all.
I'm terrified. I didn't delay.
So, oh, whoops, I mean, that doesn't really matter. These guys have less than 6 health.
But yeah, so basically the goal of this run is we need to release all the ghosts. Most of what we do is kind of like setting up to release ghosts in a big bunch later. But we also need particular stat requirements throughout the run. At the end, we're going to need 15 in all of our main stats, because otherwise we can't beat someone at the most dangerous game.
By the way, despite the fact that this says ghost, it's not one of the ghosts that we're trying to
It's
save.
it's a GHOST.
Yeah, it's totally different from an...
It's not a ghost. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Alright.
So yeah, so that's basically what we're doing. We needed to get 10 mysticality early, so that's why we get angry twice and we eat a turnip. And then we level mysticality twice. It's basically a magic stat but we do not lots of combat with it, but oh well.
Yeah, so at the very start, when we entered this area, I bought a token, just, you know, nice little coin, and now I'm just going to throw it down the well, and
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And then suddenly
look.
there's a rope.
Oh, nice. This lets us skip some spider fights.
Yeah.
And we just now... So what happened was, to get into the first part of the manor, it's actually all frozen over because the heating system was not working. So we've just fixed the heating system, and now we can explore the rest of the manor. Or at least to some extent. We've got the first floor available to us at the moment.
Yeah. We're not qualified to operate the elevator.
Oh, there's another boo here. Ready?
No.
Terrifying.
Oh, I'm never ready.
Truly, truly. Okay, so the hardest part of this run is not accidentally fighting the ghosts.
Yeah, we do not want to fight the ghosts because it isn't part of the category requirements. But also, if we get too angry, because we'd have to surrender the fight, we're going to pass out, which means we lose all our temporary buffs.
Heck, I did not pick up a thing from downstairs. Alright,
Whoops.
let's just go get that. Only a little bit of backtracking. This is where normally I would have, like, in my practice run, I would have actually forgotten the boo, and we'd be backtracking for the boo, but I was so busy thinking about the boo that I forgot to pick up these.
Yeah, we needed to get some spider silk pantaloons for cold resistance, because you can't walk into an ice room without cold resistance.
Yeah, it turns out that, like, they left the door in the cool room open, that's why it was all frozen everywhere. The cool thing about this DLC is that it is all self-contained, so, like, you can come to the DLC area without completing any of the main game. And so
probably easier, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah, yes, all the requirements are scaled. So a few of the things we're doing, like that mysticality requirement of 10 was... Okay, I'm going to look in this dictionary for a few things, and the first thing is a key. Oh, nice, we got the key.
Ah, yes.
Okay, the second thing is a chili, because we were talking to a ghost downstairs and he was really hungry, and it turns out that he was killed while eating a chili, and according to him, a chili is made from bean spices and a gun, and we're like, okay. We're Australian, we don't understand what chili means except for the spicy thing, but we're gonna believe you. Not.
But yeah.
Yeah, not. So we come here, check the dictionary.
He died due to,
Yeah, the gun kind of fired while he was eating it. We come here to check the dictionary because we don't believe his definition, but the dictionary is... Okay, the next thing we're going to check is poach, because we also met a guy who tried to poach an egg by shooting it, and we're like, dude, that's wrong. So, turns out there's two definitions. Two definitions for the word poach. And the last thing we're going to look up is... a picture of... Ah!
Oh god.
Oh, also there's another boo here. I think. Let's go. Black lights. How do they work?
Oh my goodness me, the twist. Terrifying.
Oh boy. Yeah, so...
We're gonna use the key. Yep, to get in here.
It was really fun. As it turns out... Ali was not quite aware that the key was in the dictionary.
Yeah, I was using lockpicking.
Yeah, so like we actually skipped talking to our mother.
Yeah.
To get the lockpicking book.
Nice little Deus Ex joke here. This is one instance where the level scaling in the manor would actually be annoying. Safe cracking is annoying to get in the main game, and the requirement would be higher if we didn't come here from a fresh save file. But you know what? It's probably just 0451. Oh, hey. Nice. It worked. We're gonna
Right.
go through
Don't
here.
forget that
We've
speaking of Deus Ex,
Oh boy.
speaking of Deus Ex, you can donate for the language of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It's one of our donation incentives. French is currently in the lead.
That guy we just talked to was an inventor, and his life's ambition was to make a joke cigar that would just explode in the user's face, like just in a, you know, sort
Yeah.
of like nothing too
And
violent.
as it turns out, he somehow shot himself with it. I don't.
The
make
explosive
up-
force inside the cigar shell, bullets, yeah, it wasn't pretty.
So,
we're gonna-
if you haven't noticed yet, all of these ghosts seem to have
oh, no gun.
magically. Yeah, no gun, no gun.
Half the time you end up putting the gun in by accident. The tip is to put your mouse on the bottom and click for that one instead of using the
But yeah, all of these ghosts have died to gun-related incidents.
yeah.
So
Seems a bit weird, huh?
it's a bit weird. We're in Gun Manor, and they're
Yeah. And like, didn't Mrs. Gunn ask us to come here? She's the inventor
all. Yeah,
of the
she
gun.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. Bit weird. Okay,
Anyway,
I mean, like, you know, actually, she didn't ask us to come here. We just came here for a tourist visit, and then Flo, the ghost hunter, decided to recruit us.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, we just went to the pantry, because that's where you keep your pants.
So, now we're back with the hungry ghost, and we're going to offer him this chili that we made as ignorant Australians. We were like, okay, I think you put in some beans and some spices and no gun. We did that. And then he's like, but I'm a ghost. I can't eat that because it's tangible. So you're like, what do I do? Well, it turns out...
There are two things you can do.
Yeah.
One, you can just be ruthless, and that's what we do here. But the other one, you have to go off into the parlor, I think, and then smother it with a pillow.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you know... I mean, they
it's
both sound
fine.
pretty ruthless, but one... Oh, there's another boo here, I think. Let's have a look. What's this instrument called?
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
You
you know
tell
what they
me.
say. It makes an ass out of N and... Ah!
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna grab a few things from here. That ghost that we saw in the music room. Oh yeah, that boo is actually necessary for the run. So I didn't set that one up. Because
Yeah.
we need to take this chalk. The ghosts that we saw in the music room, they were actually a conductor for the 1812 Overture, and they died while, you know, doing this very boisterous conducting, and so they have gotten that stuck in their head. Of course, I'm very
Now, if you've ever listened to that song, it is an experience, and it would definitely leave a lasting impression.
This girl here, she was having a tea party, and she was just unfortunately a bystander when a couple of guys had a duel. So we just present her with a tea party, like we had to fill it with all the stuff that we found earlier.
Yeah, we did
And,
that on the way through.
And you know what, we're here, we're just gonna play with these blocks. Ah!
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, this is the tween bedroom, so we're gonna pick up, you know, things like, you know, geometry textbooks and grab a skirt and, you know, look at this dreamboat. Daniel Boone, have you ever seen such a handsome stick Ah! Did I pick up the stuff? Okay.
Depends.
Okay, there is going to be an opportunity if there's any announcements or donations to be made. We're going to have to sit through this.
Correct.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the Flying Australian Speedrun team presenting Fast 2020. This is an Australian Speedruns event. We are raising money for Flying Doctors Australia, which is a service that provides medical aid to people in distant rural areas where a plane is the only way you can really reach them. Excellent cause, very useful. As someone who lives in a rural area, very handy. We have a big bunch of donation incentives coming up. For example, we have naming the cast of Final Fantasy VII. We have Deus Ex Mankind Divided, choosing between French or English language. Celeste, trying to get the Moonberry. Costume select for Resident Evil 3. A run of Hunk Mode for Resident Evil 2. A glitch exhibition for The Simpsons Hit and Run. the audio language between Nihongo and English for The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2, and of course, to have the maximum any % run of Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, which, no bias, but you should definitely donate towards.
I
think it's gonna be,
I will take my other bias and say you should donate for Moonberry for Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
That is an experience to do.
Oh yeah, like that is you want to see some real cool platforming, Moonberry.
Okay, so I didn't mess up the experience gain. We are about to play the most dangerous game. It involves, as you can see, a knife. It also involves checkers.
Yeah, it's knife checkers.
Yeah, like the most dangerous game, you know, like. Okay. But...
Yeah, so we're gonna try.
Okay, we're gonna try. I'm gonna play carefully.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Okay. See.
That didn't work.
God damn it.
But turns out that by getting angry, we've got what we need to pass all this all the tests here. Yeah, take that.
So we needed to level up our grit so that we could actually get a third stack of angry. That's one of the major XP sinks that we need to do in the routing. So.
Alrighty.
Yeah. It's pretty much from here. It's just clear out some ghosts.
Yeah. Okay, so we got some books, and it turns out to look up books, you just need to find the book that's next to it in the, alphabetically. Like,
yeah, but if you don't have it,
Dewey Decimal System. What is that? So we're gonna look up fun law, and we're gonna get gun law. I'm not really sure that's quite alphabetical, but
look, we don't ask questions, but yeah, we need to learn how guns work with the law, and we need to know how duels work. Because this is going to be very relevant.
Both important things.
A few seconds,
no, I don't
probably.
want to hit that button. That's the wrong button. Oh, nice. Oh, aren't we a cool inventor? We're going to show that to the inventor guy later. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Now that we're experts in gun law and stuff, we're going to go by the gallery and, there's some artwork here. Oh, that's a nice donut. It's also a nice donut. It looks a bit squashed, but... Ah! Boo. Okay, this is Felicity Rainwright, and she talks a lot. Or rather, we talk to her a lot.
Yeah, we do.
So,
we are now entering the Ace Attorney portion of West of Loathing. You too can be a fictional lawyer trying to prove a defense attorney wrong.
so we're first going to conclude that her client was in a duel. And so this lawyer is stuck in this world, not able to move on, because she engaged in trial by combat on her client's behalf because she was trying to defend his case, which was that he engaged in a illegitimate gun duel. So she feels guilty that she wasn't able to defend him. She thinks that he got executed. So you have to absolve her guilt somehow. Not the guilt of being guilty of a crime, like her client wasn't, just the guilt of... Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, it sounds really complicated, and it probably is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we need to, just press it for some information, and then
we
when
get
we
the
find
delightful objection button.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I told you it's Ace Attorney.
So, turns out that...
Sounds like it's the Edgeworth game.
Yeah. Turns out that her client set up a duel for noon, and, you're like, well, maybe I can prove that he was actually guilty because he confused clock noon and high noon. Turns out she actually did her research too. Here's the almanac that says nautical noon, or high noon, was the same time as clock noon
same time on that day.
Sure, coincidences. Okay. We're going to find out that when he was planned to be executed, and then we're going to look that up in that almanac that she very conveniently gave me. Now, fun fact, this date that we're looking up is my partner's birthday, and I have a mental block around this date, and it's only from speedrunning this game that I now remember his birthday.
I'm not sure that's the thing to admit on in front of a few hundred people, but
anyway. Yeah, we've only been together 14 years.
Anyway, there was a solar eclipse on the day that he was going to be executed, and it's like, well, maybe he could have escaped in the confusion. It's like, well,
that's not good enough for our attorney, because she's like, I need hard evidence. So you're like, nope, I'm going to look it up in the newspapers. So we go to the newspapers, we got all this walking back and forth. We
It's
need like a
required.
speed. Yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna be like, I looked it up. It's just like, well, it didn't say who escaped, does it? And you're like,
No.
fine, I'm fine. Oh, whoops. Okay, so we're gonna go find this guy.
Yes.
How?
Who knows?
We're
But
gonna go to the main
it's
game.
yeah, like we actually have to go back to the main
Oi.
game for once.
Get out of the way, cart. Okay, so we go to the post office and they're like, oh yeah, this is his last known address. We're gonna go to that last known address. Oh, we got the bones! The RNG has blessed us. Okay, turns out you're meant to sneak here, but you can actually jump, which is great.
Yeah, it's look, they won't hear you coming over the sound of you jumping.
And RNG has just blessed us because we've just skipped the fight because we got the bone.
Good for
Alright.
him.
So we literally dug up this guy and... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Whatever.
Big fan of that head banging.
Turns out that...
You jump, they can't hear you coming.
Turns out that this guy, there's kind of a necromancy problem. So when you go to dig him up, his skeleton is there, and he's like, "Oh, howdy, partner," and you're like, "Hi." And he's like, "So about my poor lawyer that I asked to go trial by combat. Yeah, like I did escape, and then the brother of the guy that I dueled came and killed me. But I gave up dueling up until the point that happened. So tell her I'm sorry." So we're gonna get a couple things. We're gonna get the hammer.
Yeah, you should. I think there's some planks in this room. You should.
Yeah, you know what hammers are
Go
good
check
for?
it.
Hammering things into donuts. Oh wait. Oh, we got an achievement. Sweet. That means that I did not miss any any booze.
Oh no.
That's it. That's all the booze, guys. Sorry. There's no more for the rest of the run.
Yeah. So we also need, because there's a guy playing billiards, and we got a wobbly billiards cue, and as it turns out, it doesn't hit billiard balls very well. So we just have to lave it a bit.
Yeah,
you know.
labour, rinse, repeat. That's how it works, bro.
Yeah, and then you gotta. Well, you ask the guy for some chalk, and he's like, "But mine's ghost chalk, which won't work on your clearly not ghost billiards cue." So you had to go find some chalk. That's why we have to pick it up from the.
Yeah,
the
we get the blue
chalkboard
chalk
earlier.
Chalkboard. Cool. We're gonna go into the larder, and this guy is stereotypically French, and he doesn't want to leave until he can leave like a legacy of him visiting Gun Manor. So he's like, "Okay, I'll be satisfied if you just put my photo in the window." So you send him off. Look, he's got his photo in the window. Thanks, lardist.
Yeah, larder.
Yeah. We had to talk to
It
him
just
to be able to
follows.
identify that the photo was of him downstairs. That's why there was a bit of backtracking.
Yeah.
This guy, he shot his legs off and is quite upset about the fact that he can no longer seem to find pants that are suitable. You present him this skirt, and he's a little bit like stuck in the gender binary still. Like, he just needs a bit of affirmation, right? So you just tell
Yeah,
him,
it's a kill.
yeah, it's a kill. We'll just affirm, like it's for men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because, it's legless plants. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to have pants that you can't wear because you don't have any legs.
So with that, we've cleared the 4 ghosts on the first floor. We're gonna go to the second floor, and we're gonna clear out. Does it matter which order I do these in? I don't think it does. We'll find out.
Oh, look. It might be, very marginal.
Whoop.
At which point it doesn't matter.
So this Clark here is missing an eye, so we think she can't leave because she's looking for her eye. So we're going to present her with a glass eye, and it doesn't work. So just like the guy downstairs with the chili bowl, we're thinking that, well, maybe we just need to, kill the eye so that it becomes a ghost eye. So we need the hammer for this. We try it. It doesn't quite work.
Well, it kind of works, but the eye's too big.
Yeah. So it turns out that the real eye was inside her all along. So that's all good.
Yeah, you just have to tilt your head a bit until it comes out properly.
Alright, this guy used to softlock the game. I'm gonna not risk it, but I tested it and he doesn't softlock it anymore. If you leave here before his ghost disappears, I did have problems with it at points, but okay, he's gone.
Yeah, so we still have to test out his invention
Yeah.
because, you gotta make sure, right?
Yeah. Well, he wants to see that his proof of concept, he put together proof of concept, it did not work. So he just needs to see that this one works for him. And now finally we're going to tell Felicity that we spoke with her client and he gave up gunfighting and like he was innocent, you saved him after all. So she's satisfied with that. And then we're going to go to the library. We're going to talk to the librarian, and her only complaint is that guns are loud.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, how did you die? Oh, Well, turns out we invented a silenter, not a silencer, to make guns quieter, and that eases her.
Yeah. But if you check the dictionary for the word silencer, it doesn't exist.
All right.
Normally you get some, random nonsense, but it literally says this word does not exist.
Our last ghost, there's 4 ghosts on each level, right? Is this guy, he's playing pool. You actually need to get the things we mentioned earlier, the cue, the chalk, and you also need the geometry textbook, because you need to be able to, actually...
Yeah, you need to know how angles work.
So we're going to go back and tell Mrs. Gunn that we've dismissed all the ghosts. But, turns out, 12 is not a very interesting number, because 11 is usually a number in Loathing. But what's another number that the Loathing people are suspicious about? Superstitious about?
13?
13.
Maybe.
Mrs. Gunn is a ghost too.
Ooh.
And she has unfinished business. We're going to find out what's wrong. Yeah. So we think that maybe she's just been languishing here since her husband and kids disappeared. So we're going to steal the attic stick. We're going to get in here. We're going to find there's a guy hanging out in the attic. What is he doing here? His name is Shet Bullet.
Gee, I wonder what that name could indicate.
So it turns out Shet Bullet was jealous of Mrs. Gunn's success with a gun, that she took all the credit. So he set up the murder of her husband, sent her kids off to a land called Loathing, and also did the ghost summoning. And because he did the summoning, all the ghosts that turned up were related to the bullet. And by extension, most of them had some relationship to the gun. So he was hoping that they would wreak their vengeance on Mrs. Gunn while he hung out in a ghost-proof shield. Turns out, she was a ghost too, and, the ghosts were also not able to capture her because she had her own ghost-proof shield. So we go and tell Mrs. Gunn all this. She's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And we can choose here to fight Shet or let him go, or if we keep walking to the left, there seems to be some bells here, and
Yeah, we
can put some notes in. Do you remember how the musical scale goes?
Yeah, it's like A, B, C. No, wait, G.
C
Every
dash?
good boy deserves fruit.
Oh right, my favorite letter in the musical scale.
Oh!
Oh.
The last boo! And that's actually time, I guess, once I'm done clicking through this. Doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, that's it. That's Gun Manor. We summoned the ghosts back. They were like, oh, so this is what's really happened. They decide to take out Shet Bullet, and yeah, that's it. We saved the day.
Yep.
Yeah, saved. Let's go with that.
Yes. Saved.
Save file might be saved.
Saved. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out with us and our very corny jump scares.
Oh yeah.
I think I described it on Twitter as the most milk toast jump scares in all of gaming.
Yeah.
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 Yep. And
So, yeah.
Do check
Maybe
out
they cook
West
that
of
for me.
Loathing. It is a fun game. This is just the side adventure of it. The rest of the game, we obviously sped through all the witty writing pretty fast.
We sure did.
And yeah, please, if you're able, donate towards the Royal Flying Doctors service. They really if you're watching from overseas and don't know how big Australia is, get some maps up. We are massive, and the work that they do is
Huge and fast.
Yep.
And we do have some donations to read out.
Okay, cool.
Upfield 2 has donated $22.46, saying, please put this towards Simpsons Hit and Run Glitch Expo. We have $22.46 by Stylenide, saying, 50-50 this for Cloud and Sid in Final Fantasy VII to be named Clown and SID Sid, respectively. $1
You
by
monster.
$1 by Squilly Bob saying, put this towards Final Fantasy VII Cloud name incentive, Darwin. And $16.62 by GS Standard saying, always happy to support a great cause. Good luck with the runs.
Thanks, everyone. Also, I'm sorry to everyone who asked about spittoons. We cannot interact with the spittoon because it's a new save file.
Well, we don't have a storied history with them. Yet.
Yeah, play the game. You know, find out about the wonder of spittoons.
They sure do exist.
Well, with that, I think that's probably our allotted time up.
Stick around. Valkyria Chronicles by Aeon Frodo is up next. Get comfy and stick around, honestly.
Yeah. See you, folks.
Yeah.